Okay, over the Christmas holiday, my brother visited me, um, and visit was planned, but he, uh, we've long since stopped exchanging gifts for the holidays. But he came with a present for me, so um, at the time, I'm well. I'm still using a flip phone for a cell phone. But at the time, I didn't have this replacement phone to um, to use or even consider. So I had the green um, battery pack. It was a 10,000 milliamp capacity battery pack that I was using for primarily for that GoPro clone battery, to extend the battery life on that. Uh, so it wasn't a completely pressing um, application for me. I could get by without it. So since he was traveling and uh, his job issues him a phone to keep in touch with all of the stuff that he has to keep in touch with, and then he has another one besides that. So he has two phones that he's constantly using at different rates. The personal phone, not so much. Business phone, even on vacation, he was always on it, which is absolutely no problem when he was in the house with current available, or traveling in the car with battery power available. But when he was in the airplane and sitting in an airport, um, battery power management became a real issue. So the 10,000 milliamp battery pack I gave to him, along with it had a short USB cord with the micro USB connection on it, and I gave that to him along with that current meter, so that he could travel without having a battery go flat on him. But then when he got home, he went into his drawer and sent me his the phone that he had just replaced. He retired this phone and then and bought a, I don't know what it is. I'm still learning the lingo for smartphones. But this phone is only, technology-wise, it's only 2.5 years old, and it's got a 1600 milliamp hour battery in it. I found that out through having a month to poke around and push buttons on this before I can get it activated. Has given me a lot of time to figure out what this phone is and what it isn't. And I'm pretty impressed with what it is. So I went to replace the battery pack because now I need it. So this power pack, the other one was 10,000. I went looking. It was 10,000 milliamp hours, and it was right at $20. I went looking at that one, and then while I was looking, I started looking around at all the other possibilities, and I found this one, which is 30,000 milliamp hours. and it has a much larger LED flashlight built into it. So I'm not gonna point it at the camera, but if you push the button twice, it's got a pretty substantial flashlight. I'm still draining the old water heater so that I can drag it up the steps without leaving a trail of intestines on the stairwell. So it's got a pretty substantial flashlight, and it's impact resistant. Good thing to know. This one also has a solar panel built into it. The green one that I used to have was 10,000 milliamps. This one's 30,000. The other one cost right at $20, and it shipped from mainland China. This one cost $25, and it shipped from mainland China. Both of the freights were free. So for five extra dollars, I got 20,000 more milliamp hours. A small to medium-sized rechargeable AA battery has between 1,000 and 2,500 milliamp hours battery capacity. This phone, the battery in it has got 1,600 milliamp hours. A milliamp is 1,000. If you take an amp and divide it 1,000 times, you get a milliamp. Not to be confused with a microamp, which is 10,000. So the other battery pack had a solar panel built into it. So I went and did a search around, because this panel has actually got some statistics supplied with it. This is a 2-watt solar panel, tiny solar panel. I went and did some conversion using Ohm's law and known assumptions. Ohm's law will state that voltage times amps equals watts. So this is a 5-volt. This is a 5-volt battery pack divided by the 2 watts, and you get 4/10 of an amp current, maximum potential from this solar panel. And then I had another question. Is like, well, okay, if you have 4/10 of an amp at 2 watts and you've got a 30,000 milliamp battery pack, how long is it going to take to recharge the battery pack using just the solar panel? So I found an equation. 1 amp hour equals 3.7 watt hours, and then the accepted assumption is that you take this is the perfect theoretical value, but then when you get into reality, because you have to convert electrical energy, you got to pass it through a wire. You have to put the wire to the battery and then refill a storage device, and all of those things will. There's an energy loss through heat from resistance. So the 2.5 is the added buffer that was built into it for the reasonable expectation for recharging rates. So an amp hour equals 1,000 milliamp hours. Let me see if I said that right. There are 1,000 milliamp hours in an amp hour. So, with a 30,000 milliamp battery pack divided by 1,000, you get a value of 30. So you got 30 times 3.7, which is the value from over here, and you get 111 watt hours. Take that value by 2.5 and you come up with 277.5. And then you take your 277.5 and divide it by the 2 watts maximum potential from the solar panel, and you come up with a value that if this battery pack was completely drained, it would take 138 3/4 hours to recharge. And that's, let's see, calculator, 138.75 divided by 24 is 5 3/4 days. 138.75 divided by 24 hours. Damn it. Let's start over. You can tell that this is 138.75 divided by 24 hours. A little over 5 3/4 days to recharge this solar panel. So the solar panel is just incidental, you know, and that's what I considered the for the green one also. The one feature that I like on this one that isn't on the other, the end panel, this end panel right here, I've drawn it out over here. There's a mini USB input. It inputs at 5 volts and 2 amps. And the output on the left is output 1, and it outputs at 5 volts and 1 amp. And the output 2 on the right outputs at 5 volts and 2.5 amps. So that's a better availability. The other one was a straight 2 amps on both sides, which, yeah, that would be okay, I guess. But if you're only using the battery pack to keep another device alive, like the GoPro camera, having it output at less than 1 amp is a better deal. And another thing that this one does, it's got a switch. The switch over here is the same one that turns on the lamp. But if you hit this switch once, it actually turns the battery pack on. So you can have this battery pack sitting here without anything turned on, and a minute later it will go dormant. And then if you plug something into it, you have to hit this button over here once to turn the battery pack on, and then it'll resume operation and start charging. And if you want to stop the battery from charging, you just hit the button again and it'll shut it off. But it will still, the solar panel will still allow you to charge it. So, and you can also charge this battery pack while you're using the battery pack to power other devices also. And that button, the button to shut off these ports, these outside ports, is would become useful in some application that I haven't really thought of yet. So that's what I'm working on today. I just got this recharged. I tested it with the phone. It does recharge my phone, so that's a pretty good deal. And I'll leave a link to where I got this in the box down below. Okay, I hope you're not asleep, but we'll see ya.